Hi everyone, welcome to the session of CNC Cellular Mobile Communication. In this class, I am going to give the lecture on the topic that is the channel assignment. So this is the continuation topic. In previous class, we have already discussed that what is meant by channel assignment. That means channel assignment means allocating the channels to the cell sites as well as to mobile units on a fixed that means on a long-term basis or on a short-term basis. So here we have two types of assignment methods. First one, fixed channel assignment. Another one is dynamic channel assignment. So we have already discussed about how the fixed channel assignment and dynamic channel assignment is performed in the mobile communication, and as well as what is the channel assignment. That means how the channel assignment will be done to the cell sites on a long term basis, and as well as the channel assignment to the traveling mobile units. That means when the mobile unit is not constant, it moves from one location to the another location. How we can allocate the channels to particular cell sites in the busy hours, that is at the morning time as well as at the evening time. So already we know in the morning and at the evening, at the night time, the traffic, that means the traffic density increases. So the traffic density is not uniform. So when the traffic becomes heavier, then what that means what are the problems we have and how we can solve the problem. That means how we can solve the problem. So that means by using the less transmitted power as well as by increasing the threshold level of the reverse setup channel uh, at the of voice channels at certain cell sites. We can control the acceptance of incoming calls as well as the handoff calls. So, in order to handle the traffic capacity, in order to handle the traffic density at the cell site has to reduce the transmitted power as well as it increases the threshold level of reverse setup channels as well as voice channels to control the acceptance of incoming calls as well as handoff calls. Okay, so here we are following three methods. First one is underlay overlay method, next one frequency assignment, and next one tilted antenna. So by following these three methods, we can solve the problem. So we will go through these three methods of channel assignment in this class. So these topics we have covered in previous class. So first one, so these are the three methods we have, that is underlay overlay method, next one frequency assignment, and next one tilted antenna. So first one is underlay overlay method. So the traffic capacity, normally if you are using some omnidirectional antenna, then it covers the area, the overall area, most probably. And if we are using some directional antenna, it covers a particular range of area. So the traffic capacity at an omnidirectional cell or a directional cell can be increased by using the underlay overlay. So if the traffic density increases, then the traffic capacity can be increased, in or on omnidirectional cell or in a directional cell. That means omnidirectional cell means the cell uses the omnidirectional antenna. Directional cell means the cell uses the directional antenna. So whatever may be the cell, so the traffic capacity can be increased by the use of underlay overlay array. Okay. So underlay, what is meant by underlay? Underlay means inner circle, overlay means outer circle. Underlay is the inner circle and outer lay is the outer ring or outer circle. So the transmitted powers of the voice channels at the cell side are registered for these two areas. So in underlay overlay method, we have two areas. Let us consider the figure here. So this figure represents the underlay overlay cell arrangement. So this is figure A, figure B, and figure C. Figure A represents the underlay overlay method in omnicell. That means in the cell we are using a direct omnidirectional antenna. It covers the signals in all the area, the total area. So in this method, in the second figure, this is the figure which represents the underlay overlay in sectorized cell. Sectorized cell means here we are performing some 120-degree sectoring because here we have three sectors. Three sectors means it follows 120-degree sector. Six sectors means it follows 60-degree sector. So if you are following some 60° or 120° sectoring, then we can install or we must install a directional antenna. So this is the case, or this is the method, underlay overlay method, whenever we are using some directional antenna. Okay. And third one is two level handoff. That means whenever we are using some handoff, then how the handoff is performed by the use of level 1 and level 2. So this figure represents the two level handoffs. So overall, these three figures represents the underlay overlay self arrangement. So here underlay means inner circle. This is the inner circle. This area is underlay. This one is called, so from this point to this point. This one is called underlay, and outer circle is overlay. Okay. So here the transmitted powers of voice channels at the cell site are adjusted for these two areas. So that means here underlay maintains some power and overlay maintains some power. That means the transmitted powers of voice channels at the cell sites or at the cell site. Here we are using a cell site, and the transmitted power of underlay as well as overlay are adjusted for these two areas. That means up to in order to assign the channels up to this area, here the cell site maintains some power, and in order to give the channels to this area, that means the mobile units which are present in this area, it maintains some power. Okay, so that means the total transmitted power at the cell site are adjusted for these two areas. And next, if the transmitted power is adjusted, then different voice frequencies are assigned to each area. So here we are adjusting the transmitted power. That means we are allocating. That means the cell site allocating some particular channels to underlay area as well as to overlay area, depending on the powers of these regions. Whenever the power is adjusted, the frequency channels, that means the voice frequencies are assigned to each area. Different voice frequencies are assigned to each area. That means for underlay, we are assigning some frequency channels. For overlay, we are assigning another frequency channels. Okay. So in previous case, and that means if there is no underlay, there is no overlay, this circuit is represented as one cell, and one cell site maintains all the signals or all the signals from the mobile units, and that is a problem here. So in order to solve the problem, here we are dividing the total cell into two regions. One is underlay, another one is overlay. And in this case, these two regions or areas are maintained by the two power levels. That means for this cell area, we are using some power level. That means cell site using some power level. And for this cell area, it uses some power level. And as well as the frequency channels for the underlay is different from the frequency channels of overlay. So if you consider, suppose if our mobile unit is at the edge of the cell site, then what happens? It gives that means it can get some less power if the cell site is located at this point. That means the cell grids are rarely uniform because of varying traffic conditions in different areas as well as cell site locations. That means the cell grid is not uniform because of some traffic conditions. That means we have some higher traffic at some particular timing, and in some particular time there may be some lower traffic, and as well as we depending on the cell site locations, here we can face some problems as we discussed previous slides. So in order to solve the problem, here we are dividing the cell into two regions, and we are maintaining different powers for these two regions, for the underlay and overlay, and as well as we are assigning different frequencies for these two areas. That is underlay is operated by some channels or some frequencies, and overlay is operated with some frequencies, and there is no adjacent or coach without interference. That means adjacent channel as well as we have some co-channel interference. So by reducing those interferences, we are allocating the frequencies. While allocating the frequencies, we should remember that there should be some less interference between the channels. That may be co-channel interference, that may be adjacent channel interference. Okay. So normally, if you are taking some omnidirectional antenna, the frequency reuse distance is D is equal to 4.6. That means if you are using some omnidirectional antenna, that means here we are using one antenna and it covers the overall cell. That means it transmits and receives the signals from all the 360 degrees of the cell. And for this omnidirectional cell, the reuse distance normally D is equal to 4.6 R. R is the radius of the cell. So depending on the radius of the cell, the distance of the cells will be its, and that means the distance of the cell depends on the radius of the cell. And next, depends on the distance, we are allocating the frequencies. Depending on the distance of the cells, we are allocating the frequencies. That means those parameters are interrelated to each other. So here one overlay, one underlay is shown in the figure. This is in the case of omnidirectional antenna or omnidirectional cell. And whereas for the second figure, because of the sectorization in the directional cell, here we are using some directional antenna, because here we are performing some 120 degree sectoring, because suppose consider this cell. This cell is divided into 3 parts by the use of 120 degree sector. And this is underlay. And coming to the overlay, overlay cell is also divided into 3 parts. Okay, this one, this one, this one. So for underlay, we have 3 sectors. For overlay also, we have 3 sectors. That means we have 3 overlay regions, these are the 3 overlay regions, and these are the 3 underlay regions. So this is in the case of directional antenna or directional cell. And this figure represents the 2-level handoffs. When the mobile unit moves from one location to another location, how the handoff is generated. This is the figure which represents the 2-level scheme. So this is the case, or this is the underlay overlay method which we are using in order to control the acceptance of incoming calls, or as well as handoff calls, or in order to handle the traffic, in order to increase the traffic capacity. So this is the outer just overall underlay overlay method, but in depth, in brief, we can have so in this topic also we have underlay overlay arrangement. So these two are the same, but this underlay overlay arrangement is given in brief in the second topic, that means we will discuss in later. This is also one of the subpart in frequency, that means fixed channel assignment. So we will discuss in later sessions. So this arrangement is given in brief in this topic, that is in fixed channel assignment. Okay, so it can also be called as overlaid cells. Okay, so let us go through it in order to get some better understanding. So normally the cellular system cell grids are not uniform, because of the varying traffic conditions as well as some cell site location. Because of some traffic conditions, because of the fluctuations in the traffic as well as the cell site locations, the cell grids are not uniform. So we go through the underlay overlay arrangement in order to handle the traffic capacity, or in order to increase the traffic capacity. Okay, so in order to permit 2 groups to reuse the channels, we have normally 2 groups for channel A and channel B. Already from the frequency management chart, we know we have 2 groups of channels. To reuse the channels in 2 different cell reuse patterns of the same size, an overlaid small cell is sometimes established at the same cell site as the large cell. So in order to handle the traffic capacity, here one cell is divided as the 2 cells. That means one underlaid cell is generated internally. Okay, so that is the case here, and the large and small cells are treated as 2 different cells. So here we have one large cell, here we have one small cell. So these 2 cells are neighboring cells. These underlay and overlay cells are called neighboring cells. And so how the channel assignment is here. So 1 minute. So if you observe the figure, so here we have a omnidirectional system. So the use of either an omnidirectional antenna at one side to create 2 subring areas or 3 directional antennas to create 6 sub areas is illustrated in this figure. So whereas if you observe, this is the omnidirectional cell, this is the directional cell. In this case, we have 2 sub areas. In this case, we have 6 sub areas. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So these are 6 sub areas whenever we are using some directional antenna. And here we have 2 sub areas whenever we are using some omnidirectional antenna. So a set of frequencies used in an overlay area will differ from a set of frequencies used in an underlay area in order to avoid the interference. Already we know we are assigning different frequencies for the overlaid cell as well as for the underlay cell. This cell is operated with some frequencies and this cell is operated with another set of frequencies. Then there is no problem of frequency channel assignment or a frequency channel assignment. So because this cell is operated with some frequencies and this cell is operated with another frequencies. So by that means by reducing the channel interference or adjacent channel interference, co-channel interference, we are assigning different frequencies to different cells. And the channels assigned to one combiner, that means if suppose let us consider we have 16 channels, can be used for overlay and another combiner can be used for underlay. So in order, what is meant by channel combiner? Channel combiner is located at the cell site normally. Its purpose is to combine the signals from all the mobile units and it processes those signals. So for underlay, we are using one combiner at the antenna. For overlay channels, we are using one combiner at the antenna. That means there is no interference. Okay, we have 2 combiners for the overlay as well as for underlay cells at the same cells. And the antenna of setup channel is usually omnidirectional. So let us consider we are using some omnidirectional antenna. When an incoming call is received by the setup channel and its signal strength is higher than level L, the underlay cell is assigned, otherwise the overlay cell is assigned. So when an incoming call is received by the cell site, when an incoming call means that is received, that is transmitted from the mobile unit and that is received by the cell site by the reverse setup channel. So when that incoming signal is received by the cell setup channel to the cell site and the signal strength of that incoming call is higher than some particular level. Already we know we are maintaining some threshold level. We are maintaining some threshold level. If the signal strength is higher than that threshold level, then the underlaid cell is assigned. And if the signal strength is less than that level, then overlaid cell is assigned by the cell site. Okay. So here we are maintaining some particular level, some particular threshold level. And if the incoming call from the mobile unit signal strength is higher than that level, that particular threshold level, then underlaid cell is assigned. That means this cell is assigned by the cell site. That means the frequencies which are under the underlaid cell will be assigned to that mobile unit. Okay. And if that level, that means if the signal strength of the, that means the signal strength of the mobile unit is less than that level, then overlaid cell is assigned by the cell. If the signal strength is less than that some particular threshold level, then this cell is assigned. This cell is assigned means the frequencies which are allocated to this cell will be assigned to that mobile unit. Okay. So there is no interference, as well as we can easily handle the traffic capacity, or the traffic capacity will be increased because of this arrangement. Okay, because here we are maintaining 2 different frequencies, and as well as by maintaining some threshold level, we can assign the different frequencies to all other mobile units. That means we can assign maximum number of channels to maximum number of mobile units. And coming to the handoff procedure, the handoffs are implemented between underlay and overlay cell. How the handoff calls will be assigned. So in order to avoid the unnecessary handoffs, we may choose 2 levels, L1 and L2. If you see the figure, in order to avoid the unnecessary handoffs, we are using two levels, level 1 and level 2. Okay. So when the mobile signal is higher than level 1, so this is level 1, this is level 1, and this is level 2. When the signal from the mobile unit is higher than L1, that is this level, then that means is higher than level, the call is handed off to the underlaid cell. That means the frequency is allocated, that is the frequencies which are under underlaid cell will be allocated to the mobile unit in order to manage the handoff. Okay. And when the signal is lower than that level, when the signal is lower than this L2, when the signal is lower than this level L2, then this is the call is handed off to the overlaid cell in order to give the handoff to that mobile unit, to that particular unit. So here we have two levels. Depending on those two levels, handoff calls will be assigned to the mobile unit. So simply we can say that by the adjustmenting of power and by assigning the different frequencies to the cells, that may be overlay or that may be underlay, we can manage the traffic density, or we can assign the maximum number of channels to the maximum number of users, as well as by maintaining some particular levels to the mobile units, or we are maintaining some particular threshold level at the reverse setup channel, and we are assigning some handoff calls to particular mobile units depending on the level which is received by the cell site. Okay, so this is one of the method which we are following in order to assigning the channels. And next method is frequency assignment. So we assign the frequencies where a set of channels or any part of set of or any part of a set or more than one set of total sets, total 21 sets. Already we know from the frequency management chart, we have 21 sets of frequencies, 21 sets of frequencies for system A as well as for system B. So we can assign either set of channels or any part of set, or 21 sets, one set of 21 sets, total 21 sets. So we can assign one set, or we can assign more than one set, or we can assign total number of 21 sets to the cells. And borrowed frequency sets are used when needed. So if the sets are not sufficient to that particular cell, then it can also follow some borrowing technique. So what is meant by frequency borrowing, we will later discuss in later sessions. So borrowed frequency sets are used whenever the cell needed. So on the basis of coverage prediction, and that means coverage prediction means how what is the area the cell site can cover. So we can assign the frequencies intelligently at one site or one sector without interfering the co-channel cells or as well as adjacent channel cells. So here, whenever we are allocating some frequency to that particular cell, we should concentrate on the co-channel cells as well as adjacent channel cells. Without interfering those two cells, we are allocating the frequencies, and we can allocate any type of any sets. That means one set, more than one set, as well as total number of 21 sets. Okay, as one set of 21 sets. So here it also depends on the coverage prediction. Depends on the coverage prediction and depends on the co-channel cells, adjacent channel cells. We are assigning the frequencies without interfering the cells. So this is second method. And third method is tilted antenna. So tilted antenna means here, in this case, the tilted directional antenna arrangement can eliminate the interference. In order to eliminate the interference, we are using some tilted antenna. And sometimes antenna tilting is more effective than decreasing the antenna height, especially when we have some tall trees, when the cell site when we have some higher cell sites, then in that case we are decreasing without decreasing the antenna height, we are tilting the antenna. Tilting the antenna means the tilting angle becomes 22 degrees or greater. You are just tilting the antenna with some particular angle in order to eliminate the interference. And if it is 22 degrees or higher, then we can have some better signal. That means we can reduce the interference. Okay. So we will discuss in brief what is meant by tilting and what is meant by tilted antenna, how we can decrease the interference in later level. Okay. So thank you.